Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cuddeback, America's Best Bowstrings, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, and Realtree.
So Jake and I just got back to this farm that we were working on a couple weeks ago where we did burning and put in food plots. This is a farm, I don't own it, but I've been managing it for about 5 years. I've shot a deer out here, my wife shot a deer out here. It's a nice piece of ground, it's about 300 acres, and a couple weeks ago we did a lot of work refreshing the food plots. I had originally put them in about 4 years ago and did big and beastie and clover. And they just had gotten taken over with grass over time. I was kind of managing the clover as good as I could. But this year we sprayed everything off and then burned it and tilled it and put brassicas in and clover in again. So I've got a fresh start. So I'm out here today wanting to check the food plots, see how they're looking after these last few rains, and then we're going to get some cameras out. We put 2 cameras out last time, that's all I had in my truck, but I've got another 6 or 7 cameras we're going to put out and just spread them out around the farm. The food plots are spread out pretty well. As you can see, it's on the river, kind of an odd shaped piece of ground, but we've got a plot up here, right here, right here, here, and here, just spread all throughout for different wind situations. And we're gonna get cameras on each one of those, and there's a few other areas I'm gonna put cameras that are just heavy trails along fence rows and that sort of thing. System okay. So this is just a little third of an acre plot or fourth of an acre plot that I put in a couple years ago. It had a pretty healthy stand of clover in it this year, but I tilled it in for green fertilizer and we put the brassicas in. They're coming up. They don't look super great, so but there's a fairly good germination rate. It's spotty. Just put the camera on it. I'm going to swing back through in a week or two and see if we don't need to overseed it with autumn quick plot, but it's starting to pop up. Let's go check this little plot. We just put out camera number 7, and this is one of my favorite spots on the farm. It's an hourglass shaped plot, and I just set the camera up right here in the bottleneck. The brassicas are germinating pretty well. All the plots are a little bit sparse. I'm definitely going to have to come check again here in a couple weeks and make sure that they're continuing to germinate. But this is, like I said, one of my favorite spots. It's surrounded by oaks. Big bedding area here. The neighbors got some ag fields. They just nice good cover all the way around. The mature bucks really like to use this plot, so it'll be one of the areas that we're targeting this year on this farm. Jake and I have just switched farms. We're out on my new farm now. This is where we worked a few weekends ago, 3 weekends ago, putting in these food plots. We put 4 in, and they're looking good. My plan is to check on all of them, see how they're coming up. The brassicas look real good on this one. And I've got 7 cameras out over here. I want to put 3 more out, so we're going to check all the cards. It's been about 2 weeks since I've pulled cards out here. So we'll get a few more cameras out and see what's on the ones that are already out here.
Yeah, that's gotta be him. That's gotta be him though. I have to check the brows and stuff, but good mass. I think you just barely see the 8 coming in the frame there.
We just finished going through the cameras. Most of these cameras didn't have any bait in front of them over the last 2 weeks. I do have 2 feeders out there. One's kind of right where we parked the trucks, so not too much action, but the one in the back actually had a new buck that I hadn't had pictures of yet this year. Looks like a really good deer. Really long sweeping beams. Looks like a mainframe 9. Be interested in getting more pictures of him. I think I might know which buck it is from last year, but I'll definitely need more pictures to determine that. You guys saw a couple blogs ago a nice looking 10 and an 8 with split 2s. Those are the 2 best deer I've had all summer so far, and we do have them on camera again. Just one night, 2 nights ago, was the 8-pointer, and then I had a few nights where that 10 was there. And so they're still hanging around. We'll see once they shed their velvet if they hang out on the farm. The 8 looks a year older. I think that 10 might just be a 4-year-old, but you know, we'll see what happens when they shed and who's hanging around and how they kind of fill out. But some potential targets for sure on the new farm.